Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Welcome back to the Thursday evening edition of the Field of 68 After Dark. Rob Dauster, Jeff Goodman, Josh Pastner, and we are joined by Yale head coach James Jones, who is coaching one of the better teams in the state of Connecticut. Look, James, I'm a Connecticut native. Okay, I grew up just outside of the city of New Haven. I went to North Haven High School. You know that I rep for my nutmeg state, and I am very happy that we have another coach in the state that has been playing great basketball this year. You started out 5-6. You've won 8 in a row. You're tied for first place in the Ivy League. What kind of changed in the middle of the season? How did you get on this winning streak?
We didn't play Kansas and Gonzaga on the road. I mean, that's kind of hard to do. But for us, we had 4 guys back that averaged double figures, and we added Danny Wolf, who is a special player, to the starting lineup. And I think at the beginning of the year, we were just trying to figure out who we were. And we lost a really crazy game, which I'm sure you guys probably saw on
Mm-hmm.
social media, to Vermont, a game that's impossible to lose, but somehow we found the way to lose the game. And that carried over into a home game against Fairfield where we're up by 10 with 5 to go. And we lacked a little trust in that game. So, in any event, I think after that point, when you hit rock bottom, sometimes that has to happen. We kind of have become the team I thought we would be right now. And we're playing pretty well, and hopefully we can continue on and get a little bit better before the end of the year.
So, James, when I was at practice before the start of the season, Matt Elkin, your assistant, said to me, "Watch Danny Wolf. Watch this kid." And I'm like, "Who's Danny Wolf?" And I looked at him and I'm like, "Really, that kid?" And he played about 7 minutes a game last year as a freshman. Went to, I think, Northfield Mount Hurt, one of the prep schools in New England. You got him, and he has made
Northfield,
a
yep.
huge jump, like a huge jump. Like you don't see this generally. What was it about him from last year to this year that had you feeling like, hey, you know what, I can trust this dude?
Well, over the summer he played for Israel in the 20 and under nationals, the European games, and he led that tournament in rebounding and was second in scoring, and had his team in the championship game, and they had a chance to win it. And he actually missed a couple of free throws, but he played tremendously well throughout the tournament, blocking shots, rebounding, like just doing so many great things. And we knew who he was when we recruited him, that he was going to be a special guy, and that I told him that there was going to come a time when you're playing at Yale, and people are going to wonder how in the world did you end up at Yale, because he's that good. And now, like, all the sharks in the water, and they're all kind of called. Everybody's trying to throw him an NIL deal or try to poach him, and that's just the way college basketball works this year. But he's a really special player, tremendous, and he'll play in the NBA. He's gonna get an opportunity at some point before he's all done to play, and 10-day contract, free agent contract, drafted, something, but he's going to have an opportunity to play in the NBA.
Coach, good to see you. Congrats on your success this year and all your career. 2 questions for you. Obviously, you got a huge game on Saturday with Cornell for first place. Both your teams are undefeated in the Ivy League. If you could just expand on that game, just what you're thinking. Obviously Saturday, a lot of people have been thinking about other games, but one of the best games of that day is going to be you guys and Cornell. You got Cornell at home. Winner is in sole place of first place in the Ivy League. And then the second question I have for you, you've been at Yale for 25 years, which is remarkable. And that's not a norm in today's game of head coaches. Guys like Izzo and some others like that have maybe done it, but you're in the minority of that. The majority end up leaving after 5-6 years, for maybe they get let go or they just keep trying to move into the next job. Tell me about why you stayed, because I know you've had other opportunities. What's made you just to want to be there for so long? What has attracted you to not be jumping to another job when I know you've had other opportunities? Just curious on those 2 things.
Well, first of all, big games, like, come on, you've done this a long time, right? So for me, if we win on Saturday and then we lose our next 2,
Yep.
Saturday didn't mean much, right? So it's just the next game and the next game, and we want to try to be our best. And obviously there's a lot on the line, and sole possession of first place and all that. But really, I'm just concerned about playing our best basketball and winning the game. Last year we started out like 1-3 in the conference and ended up winning the league. And as I said, we were 1-3, and everybody's had us dead to the door. And we ended up turning that around, winning 9 of the last 10 games or something like that. So certainly each game matters, and the next game is always the biggest one. So it should be a great game in our building. We feel really good about our opportunity because we're playing at home, and we have a nice little record at home, and so we feel pretty confident. But Cornell's a really good team, and we're going to have to play well to win. They're the leading offensive team in the conference in terms of points scored. In terms of the league games, we're the most efficient team. So it should be a good contrast between styles and a lot of fun to watch. So if Rob, you're a Connecticut guy, you need to certainly step up and watch this when they start rooting for the Bulldogs. All right. And in
I always
terms
root for
of
the
like,
Bulldog coach.
Yeah, let me know.
man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. At least that's what he tells me to my face. We'll see what happens when I
Hey,
hang
except when you beat Vassar's butt. All right, when you beat Vassar's butt, that might be a little different every year.
That might be
you
a
didn't have
little
to beat the pieces, coach.
But let me go on on the second part about you being at Yale for 25 years and what's made you stay there, and when you've had other opportunities to leave and you decided to stay there, where again that's not the norm in college basketball. And so I'm just curious on what your thought process on that.
I'm trying to figure that out too, Josh. Nobody likes me. I think that's what it is. I'm not well liked outside of the friendly confines of the Payne Whitney gym. Like you would think that I've had a lot of opportunities given the success that our team has had, especially over the last 10 years, but really haven't had that many opportunities. I was offered a job on the West Coast, and it just didn't make sense to go there. In terms of a lot of things, our program was in a better place. So I haven't had an opportunity that I would think that's better than Yale. And one of the reasons why I'm here is because the quality of the student athlete I get to coach and be around with every day is nothing short of tremendous. Today I had lunch with E.J. Jarvis, who was my starting center from last year. The man likes Yale so much that he turned down an NIL deal with Florida for $100K. He turned down opportunity to work on Wall Street and make $150K to come on campus as an intern because he went through COVID and wasn't on campus for a year, and he felt like he lost a year of his life at Yale, and that's how special it was. So he's on campus right now, working as a fellow on campus. So it's just the unbelievable place with unbelievable people, and it's hard to quantify that to someone that hasn't lived it. But the people that I'm around every day and the young men I get to come into contact with, like Danny Wolf, for instance, he's like the biggest 4-year-old in the country. He's 7 feet tall. He weighs 270 pounds, and he's a 4-year-old. And he and I laugh at him every day about something. And, that kind of thing is something that's extraordinary that moves you. And the best part about coaching, and Josh, I'm sure you'll could understand this and think the same, that it's when your guys graduate and watch them grow in the lives they have once they leave you. And I've been fortunate to have coached some brilliant people that have done great things with their lives, and to watch them grow. My favorite time of the year is Christmas, because I get Christmas cards from all my guys, and I see their family grow, and my family grows with them, and that's just a wonderful way to live life and something to look back on that's pretty special.
All right, James, I brought Jeff for the first time ever to New Haven, to Pepe's, to make sure he'd never had New Haven pizza before. So I got to put you on the spot.
Where you
This
been?
is going to be the most.
Where you been, G? Where you been?
He used to host a
I don't
tournament
know.
in New Haven too. He used to host a high school tournament in New Haven. He never had it. This is the most important question you're ever going to answer, James. Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern?
Well, listen. I got to be a little different here. There's a place called the Brew Bar. It's on Crown Street, and we take recruits there all the time. And it's sort of a rite of passage when you come to New Haven. You have to experience New Haven pizza. So we always go there for a meal. And my favorite pizza is that. And let me tell you something about Sally's. This is a great story. So I go in there to pick up a pizza. This has got to be 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and there's a dude putting the sauce on the pizza with his hands. Now, you know that in the oven it's going to kill any germs, but I couldn't get by the dude putting sauce on the pizza with his bare hand. I haven't been back to Sally's since. I'm like, peace on Sally's. I'm done. I can't go there. And Pepe's is brilliant. It's wonderful. Martin's brilliant. It's all great stuff. It's like you can't go wrong. And I'm from Long Island. I'm a New Yorker, right? And so I'm a pizza snob. And like, you know, pizza in New Haven is tremendous. And, you know, it's hard to feel good about pizza outside the Northeast. And in New Haven and New York, it's just great stuff. And you can't go wrong with Martin, Sally's, or Pepe's.
So the one thing I love about both of the Jones brothers, and James's brother Joe, his younger brother, is a coach at Boston University, for those who don't know, is they don't know how to bullshit. They do not know. It's, again, the New Yorker in them. I have two. I'm going to pull a Josh Pastner here and do what I was told never to do, ask two questions. All right.
I was told to not do that. I was told not to do that in learning about media, and I did it. So I made a mistake. You're right.
Don't ever do it. But since you did it, I'm going to do it.
And I did it because I love Coach. He's such a good coach, and he's such a good guy. And that's why I said I can get away with it.
All right. Number one, James, who is the better looking Jones brother? Number one.
I need to answer that right. Well, there's several of us, but if you want to go between Joe and Joe and myself, the girls liked him more than they liked me, so he's got to be the better looking brother. He had more girlfriends than I did.
All right.
He had to be the better looking brother. But I'll tell you a story around that too, if you like to hear. But go ahead. What's the next one?
Go ahead. No. You go, and then I got the second one. Go ahead.
All right. So when I was younger, right, I had this bike race against a kid down the street from me, and I had these big, thick glasses on. And I'm riding this bike, and I'm going so fast that I push down on a pedal, and the chain comes off, and I hit the ground face first, and I slide. Now, my brothers who love me, I have another brother, John, they're down the street cracking up. I chipped my front teeth. I had cuts on my face. I still have a scar on my wrist and one on my shoulder from that accident at 11, right? My teeth were chipped until I was 24 years old and paid for them for myself. So no one was kissing this snaggletooth back in the day. So Joe is definitely the better looking brother.
Well, Joe also gave me a little dirt, and he told me to ask you the story. He said he may not admit it, but the story of the first time you went to play hoop when you were in like second and third grade, I think you forgot something.
This dude is unbelievable. So I'm all jacked up. I'm playing Little League basketball for the first time, and my dad takes me to practice, and I run in the car. I get there. He gets me to the gym. I don't have my sneakers. I got a pair of brown hush puppies, and like my dad was not going home to get my sneakers. There was no way he was turning around to go get my. So I had to practice in my hush puppies. So Joe and my brothers and my sisters, they made fun of me for forever for that, and yeah, that's a memory I have soon forgotten.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.